chapter 9, verse 1 says, Then God blessed Noah and his sons, and he told them to be fruitful and multiply, to fill the earth. Okay, so what does that mean? What does it mean blessed?
Papa, me. Papa. Papa.
The word blessed. So we have discussed that before about children being born while they were on the boat. We don't know that for sure. Maybe. You might be right. Yeah, they were there for a long time, so maybe, but God blessed Noah and his sons. And he told them to be fruitful. What does that mean? Fruitful. Perfect explanation. Yeah. To have descendants, to have many children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren and multiply. Spread about. I'm not good at math, but to build up. To be fruitful just means to have many children. That's all. That's the thing. Build the earth. So the point right now is that God blessed them. What does that mean? Oh, I know you might think, oh, God bless you, but really, what does that mean? It just means going forward, there'll be new blessings. Almost. All of the works. I need more. Okay. So what that means is that God let them know to go ahead. Things will be good, that he approved, and he would take care of things for them. So go and enjoy. That's what that meant. God would take care of the details, and they were to go out and enjoy themselves. They didn't have to worry about what would happen if things would be messed up. No, he was letting them know that he was with them. So go ahead. That's what that means. So was that the first time that God had said that to any person? He said that to Adam as well. From Genesis 1:28-29. It says, Then God blessed them and said, Be fruitful and multiply. Fill the earth and govern it. That's the same. And he says, Reign over the fish of the sea, the birds of the sky, and all of the animals that scurry along the ground. It's just like squirrels, how they're really fast, they run off fast. That's what scurry means. That are along the ground. And then God said, Look. When he has blessed them, he said, I've already given you every seed-bearing plant, which means it grows from a seed. You plant them and they grow. They'll continue to grow. It's throughout the earth and all fruit trees for your food. So he said, look, go ahead. That just means he's given them blessings. He's made everything for them. Anything that he needs, it's already there. Not bearing as his responsibility, like having seeds and growing from a seed. Now remember, after the flood, God gave the fruit for them to eat. It doesn't say anything about the meat. And we'll see that later. And I'll show you. We'll hold on to that for just a moment. So the contemporary English version says, have a lot of children and grandchildren, so that people will live everywhere on this earth. So spread all over the earth. Any questions? So this is something interesting. From verse 1 it says they blessed them to have many children, to multiply. And this is the second. In Genesis 9 verse 7, for the second time he commanded and said, now be fruitful and multiply and repopulate. What does that mean? To do it again. So the flood, everyone died, all the people died, and the animals. So now they have to repopulate, meaning that they have to start again to multiply and spread around the earth. Okay, so now something very interesting. If you remember, God commanded them to leave the animals 2 by 2 on the boat, remember? And there were no problems with it. The animals were not, afraid of man. They were not enemies. They all socialized. But now, this is really interesting. It says, all of the animals of the earth, all the birds of the sky, and all the small animals that scurry along the ground, and all the fish in the sea will look on you with fear and terror. But I have placed them in your power. So today, is it easy for us to just call a squirrel into our lap and pick it up and pet it? No. The point is, in general, animals will not come to you. They're not friendly. They run away. Deer, you've seen a few deer that are here. But they're not friendly. They don't just come right up to you. They're gone fast. They take off. So God puts that fear in them to run from man and people. The reason is because if they were pets, people would kill all of them. Right, you're right. But the point is that it says he puts them in your power. So what does that mean? For your protection? You don't have to worry about the animals attacking you. They're afraid of you. They escape and flee. Now, of course, a bear will attack you if you bother it. If you bother their cubs, of course. So you have to watch and be careful. A lion, they will come to you and catch you because they're hungry. And they will catch you. But under normal circumstances, they flee. They will. They run away, right? Because they fear you. Any questions? At the time of Adam and Eve, the animals, they all socialized together. And people often wonder, like siren.
Dinosaur.
Oh, dinosaurs.
Dinosaur.
At the time of dinosaurs. Have you seen the movie Jurassic Park? Those dinosaurs that are walking around roaring, is that real? No. It gets you excited, but no. Back then, at that time of Adam and Eve, everything was friendly. There were no dinosaurs. Were there dinosaurs before Adam and Eve? No. He created the earth and then he created people. People believe that the dinosaurs were long ago, but nothing that says that. Dinosaurs were there during the time of Adam and Eve, but we think that they were small. They weren't huge. Most of them were really small. They're extinct. And they no longer exist. Back in the Ice Age, there was a lot that were destructive. And the flood, yes. The Ice Age. Okay, so if you remember before, God had told Noah, He placed them in your power, the same as the birds in the sky, and the fish in the sea, and the animals that scurry along the ground. And then Genesis 9:3-4, it says, I have given them to you for food. So that's the meat. Going forward, that was the meat. Before then, there was none. Just as I have given you grain and vegetables, like before. Now we have meat as well, giving them the meat. Well, why not before? Why not meat until now? Well, some people say that, during the flood, veggies were destructed and they lost a lot of vegetation and nutrients. A lot of the nutrients, like vegetables and fruits, now don't have a whole lot of them in them, so they added that meat for nutrition. That's what they say. I don't know. I'm sure there's more deep explanation to that, a lot of discussion. We don't have time to get into that tonight. Protein in the meats. Just like before in the time of Noah. But you must never eat any meat that still has the lifeblood in it. So that means what? Now let's talk about animals. The lifeblood in it, what does that mean? You mean related to Jesus dying on the cross? That was pointing to. It just means you can't eat an animal that's still alive. You must cook it. You have to kill the animal and then cook it, and then you can eat it. You cannot eat the animal while it's still alive, like cut it up and eat it. Like a man. How is that related? If you look at some of the verses, the law of Moses, from Exodus 22:31, it says, you must be my holy people, meaning we're not like pagan people who worshiped idols. They would eat animals that were living. It was awful. It says, therefore, do not eat any animal that has been torn up and killed by wild animals. Throw it to the dogs. So sometimes you see deer that have been hit on the side of the road. You can't eat that. Well, no, at this time, this was under the law of Moses. And so that was just showing that we are holy people. But today, we don't have to follow that same law anymore, because that was showing circumcision. But at that time, that was showing people that followed couldn't do all these things with the animals. They would still fail. It was easy to fail, even under the law. Just like sometimes we still sin. So if there was a wild animal that had been torn and shredded by another wild animal, they could not eat that. They had to leave it. Leviticus 22:8 says, he may not eat an animal that has died a natural death. He could not eat it. It could have been sick. Or has been torn apart by wild animals. For this would defile him. And again, it's just a symbolism, an example that we are not like those people. We are holy people. We follow God's commands. We don't just go about, we're not mean to the animals. We don't kill them. God provides the animals for us to eat, and we're grateful and thankful for that. We have grateful attitudes. We don't look at the animals like we can't be be mean to them. You know, we've had this discussion many times. There's more. We've only touched the base on it, but there's a lot more. So now, Genesis 9:3-4. So I've given to you for food, just as I've given you grain and vegetables, but you must never eat the meat that still has the lifeblood in it. Okay. The next verse, down to 5. This is interesting. It says, and I will require the blood of anyone who takes another person's life. Meaning, if a person kills, that person must die. So, you know, it's like today, a person would murder you, go to court, and they sit in the chair, the electric chair, or lethal injection. But before, a long time ago, they would hang you. But yes, today they have lethal injection. So that's still what the Bible teaches. If a person who truly kills and takes the life out of hatred kills another person, they must die as well. The law still applies today. And some states say no, they forbid it. If you murder someone, you must yourselves die. But it's really better for them to sit in prison and suffer for many years. But there is a problem with that. God knows the evil nature. He already knows. So if you allow those people to murder someone, you put them in prison for many years, that's not putting the fear in the people's hearts. Because the crime rate would go up. So we stay and support the death penalty. We should still support that. It's been that way ever since. So if all states here, the crime rate would really go down if they would support that. It would. Because you're scared. You don't want to do that. You don't want to murder someone. If I murder someone, then I'm going to die. So it would put the fear in the people, and the crime rate would go down. And it would save a lot of tax money, too. If you kill someone and you get put in prison, you have to have the death penalty. Yeah, if they're not killed, they can become safe in prison, but it doesn't matter. This is what it says. If you murder someone, then you yourself will be murdered. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that God doesn't care about their soul. I mean, God is not pleased with anyone dying. And there's scriptures that say God is not pleased to see anyone die. But the death is their punishment for that sin. That's on them. Because God is holy and God is just. So animals kill people, yes. Okay, so we'll go ahead and discuss that. So there's more. Yes, it says if a wild animal kills a person, it must die. Same as today. You think of bulldog, like pit bulls, they kill, maul the man, and they'll kill the mailman, they kill the dog. Oh, at SeaWorld, killer whale killed that trainer and took it down under the water, and she died. Now people are against SeaWorld because they don't believe that they should have killed the orca. I think they should have just left it. Yeah, there are a lot of people who rebel and complain, but they're not following what God had said before. You know, like, for example, the death sentence. There's a lot of people who don't agree with it. If I murder, I can live in prison and have free food. Now, Now, of course, that does not apply to every situation. Some people that get put in prison are innocent, and some people have, that they say that they killed someone, but they're not guilty. And the court system is not perfect, but thank the Lord for the court system anyway. The court system has saved many people's lives and made many lives more fair. It says, and then anyone who murders a fellow human must die. So this is interesting that, is this the first time? No. Back in Genesis 2, verse 17, Father told Adam, except the tree of knowledge of good and evil. If you eat this fruit, you're sure to die. Jewish rabbis would discuss what the commandment said. They made sense and they wrote the Talmud. That was the first 5 books of the Torah. It was like a scroll. Talmud was what they had discussed and written of their beliefs of what the Torah taught. So that's what they followed in their writings. So they said if Adam ate the fruit that was forbidden, then he must die. And how would he die? People were talking about spiritual death. This was talking about a physical death. But Adam and Eve did not die. You're right. Because God said, if you eat the fruit, you will die. Meaning physical death. But the Talmud says that God would kill them. If Adam ate the fruit, he would kill you. You would die. That's interesting. So the fruit, they were serious that if God ate the fruit, he would kill him. The Talmud said, that's not what I'm saying. This is what the Talmud said. Something to put on there. Put this on the test. So, but understand, the point of this is that Satan is very deceitful. He told Adam to go ahead and eat the fruit, and he believed him. People believed that Satan was the murderer at that time. So all descendants, meaning us, would be spiritually dead as well. So we would die that same death because Satan deceived him. And he became the murderer. John 8:44 refers to that. That still applies if a person murders another person and then government was to decide that they were to die. From Romans 13:4, if you read down, it's talking about following the government's laws, civil laws. If you read down through Romans, it does say this. It says the authorities are God's servants that are sent for your good. Who is this? That God sent for you for the good of your protection. Who is this? The police, the court system, the government, the firemen. That's what this is referring to. These are the servants, politicians. You know, when something happens, you'll go to a hearing. And they are the ones who decide. So God has established this. He's established the authority system. But if you are doing the wrong, of course, you should be afraid. You should be afraid, right? If the police is there and you're driving too fast, makes you afraid. You slow down, back, pull you over. Yeah, so you get afraid, you fear. And why are you afraid? Because they have the power to punish you. So it's just like police giving you a ticket. You don't want that power. I don't want to go to jail for a few days. You don't want that. So it scares you. And that's good. So it's the same. If a person murders someone, the government can decide that they will suffer the death penalty. But that should scare them. That's what we have as protection. So that's good, right? And they are God's servants. And they've been sent for the very purpose of punishing those who do what is wrong. So this is interesting. This is an NLT. It's a little bit different from other Bible translations, like the ESV. It says, but if you do wrong, be afraid, for he does not bear the sword in vain. Does it mean the sword? But what does that mean? So if you have a sword, the person is bad, you don't have the sword just so you cannot use it and just let people go. No, the sword is there for a reason. It has a purpose. To stop those who are doing evil things to each other. He uses the sword. So it's interesting. If you read down to different Bible translations, there's one. Hold on, I'll show it to you. But the sword, so what do you all think that means? What does the sword mean? So for people to be beheaded, cut their heads off? Kind of like a gun to kill someone? So people think that means, you know, the death penalty, or to behead someone. I thought so, maybe too, but what that means is it just shows that we have the power. For example, a long time ago, the Roman soldiers, they would govern, you know, they were the authorities. They would have a sword, and that was to show that they had the power, and you were to follow what they said, which is to follow the laws. Just like police now have a gun. It doesn't mean that they will shoot you, but it means that they have the power of authority. And that's the same as what this means. So it doesn't mean that they will carry through with the death penalty. The God's Word translation says they have the right to carry out a death sentence. So this is interesting. There's many that think that the other Bible translations doesn't talk about the death penalty. But it does show that they have authority. The death penalty is what this translation says. So Genesis 9:5. Let me finish that. Oh. So I have a question. So does this mean that if a person murders someone, manslaughter, meaning if you killed someone, you didn't kill someone out of anger, it was an accidental death, does it still mean you'll get the death penalty? No. That's why we have judge in the court systems today. They have to hear the case, the proof, and the evidence. And if someone was not murdered on purpose, if it's for some reason, it was by mistake, that's what that means, manslaughter. So Deuteronomy 4:42 under Moses' law says anyone who killed another person unintentionally, means not on purpose, didn't mean to do it, wasn't out of anger because you didn't like that person, was not intentional, like you didn't mean to kill that person. There's many, many different reasons. So a long time ago they did have laws. One of the laws said you must have a fence. The people would walk over it, wouldn't fall in. If you were a landowner, if you had a hole, you had to have a fence around it, because if not, people would fall in and it would be the landowner's house. Because the person fell in, it didn't mean that the landowner murdered him, but he didn't follow the law and protect them. But it doesn't mean that he did it on purpose. Anyone who killed another person unintentionally without previous hostility, means you weren't enemies, could flee there to live in safety. So a long time ago they had a city that was for people who unintentionally, you could go, you could run away. It's like a safe haven. You know, people who are grieving, those who had lost their loved one, you could flee to another city for a while, for years if you wanted to, whatever, however long you needed to stay there. So it makes it very clear that if you didn't murder someone intentionally, it just depends on the situation. But obviously, yes, God's law says that all murderers, meaning with hatred, you kill someone out of anger, you've done that on purpose, all of them must be put to death. That's what it says. From Numbers 35, 30, 31, it says all murderers must be put to death, but only if the evidence is presented from more than one witness. It can't be one witness, it has to be 2, 3, 4, 5. One person says, oh, yep, they blame them for the death, they murdered them. One witness can't accept that as evidence, but 2, 3, 4, yes, you must accept as evidence. No one may be put to death on the testimony of only one witness. Also, you must never accept a ransom payment for the life of someone who's judged guilty of murder and subject to execution. Murderers must always be put to death. Always. All murderers, always. So if you truly murder someone, why do they tend to not put people to death? Because they said they're crazy. If they're mentally unstable, they're dismissed. If they're insane. Like self-defense, you murder someone, that's not out of hatred. No. You'll be dismissed. Genesis 9, 6, 7. If anyone takes a human life, that person's life will also be taken by human hands. So if you kill someone, you will be killed by others. And why? It's because God made human beings in His own image. What does that mean? It means that we are like, does that mean we're the same as Him? What does that mean? What do you mean if we're the same? We have feelings, we have thoughts, we have creativity. You're right, God created us. He created something out of nothing. We have imagination, we have thoughts, we know what's right, we know what's wrong. We are created in His image. Some people believe that we have a nose and a mouth and ears and hair and eyes, just the same as God, but no, that's not the case. Not really. We have a heart, we show love, grief, anger. Yeah, right. So God takes care of us. We are created in His image. So we are to honor life as sacred. You know it's wrong, it's right. It's not the same as animals. Sometimes animals, dogs, they eat dogs, once. So now be fruitful and multiply and repopulate the earth. I think we're finished. Okay, real quick. So Genesis 9:8 says, Then God told Noah and his sons, I hereby confirm my covenant with you and your descendants, with all the animals that were there on the boat with you, the birds, the livestock, and all the wild animals and every living creature on earth. In 11 and 13 it says, Yes, I'm confirming my covenant with you. Never again will the flood waters kill all of the living creatures. Never again will a flood destroy the earth. Never again. And you all know what that means, right? So then God said, I'm giving you a sign of my covenant with you and with all of the living creatures for all generations to come, meaning all up till now. And I've placed my rainbow in the clouds. So that rainbow is the symbol of the covenant. Any questions? So it is the sign of my covenant with you and with all the earth. When I send clouds over the earth, the rainbow will appear in the clouds, and I will remember my covenant with you and with all the living creatures. Never again will the floodwaters destroy all of the life. Now I have a question for you. Does that mean that before the floodwaters there was no rainbows? Who doesn't believe that there was a rainbow before the flood?
Because they say that there was no rain before Noah.
Think that there was no rain before Noah? We have rain more often now, so we see rainbows. But does that mean that there was no rainbows before the floods? We don't know. Some people say maybe there was a rainbow. Same as before. You know, when you use a water hose and you see the small little rainbow, the sprinkles, the prism. You know, it's possible.
It's with gasoline, which makes that go.
Teach a science class on how rainbows are made. When white light comes into, makes the colors disperse, and that's how you see the different colors. A prism. When the white light comes in, it deflects the different colors. Makes a prism. The white light has to be there. It just says God used this as a symbol. So you see rainbows every day? Any questions? Dear Heavenly Father, we're so grateful, Lord, that you are sovereign. You keep your promises, just as you said, that the rainbow symbolized that you would never, your promise of never flooding the earth again. Thank you for your mercy and your grace. We deserve destruction. That's what we deserve. But you give us mercy and grace. We're so grateful, Lord, that you chose Jesus to die on the cross for our sins and open up that relationship to you through Jesus Christ. He is our Savior. In Jesus' name.